We're going to start with the rapid fire round. The first one is describe what your organization does in one sentence.
We modernize businesses and brands with design and technology.
How long does it take you to get ready in the mornings?
As long as I have.
Most valuable skill you've learned in life?
Building narratives, telling stories out of lots of different things.
How many speakers can you name at this conference?
6.
Name them.
Shit, I probably was lying. Tiff Rolfe and Tom Morton, James Vincent, Kate Krugman, Rosemary Ryan.
Okay, that's good enough. In one sentence, describe one problem that your organization is facing.
How to maintain an amazing culture in a remote world.
Okay. How do you relax?
Take a deep breath.
A habit of yours that you hate.
I'm not very good at working the room, so why I'm at Web Summit is kind of questionable.
Work from home or work from office?
Both.
Most embarrassing moment of your life?
I did a lot of TV quiz shows when I'm younger, so there's a lot of footage of me with very different hair out there.
I did a lot of random TV shows too. Who knew that about us?
How many hours of sleep can you survive on?
Over a month or just a day?
A day, yeah.
Maybe 3, 4.
Okay. Your favorite app?
Until last week, it was Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Biggest mistake of your career?
Not owning more of my ideas.
Okay. First movie that comes to your mind when I say the word technology?
2001.
Okay. How many cups of coffee do you drink in a day?
No coffee, only tea.
Favorite Netflix show?
The Crown, because it's a documentary.
Okay. All right. So to the longer questions, which we don't know who to begin with, but still, you've talked about the fever economy. So can you elaborate on what is that and how is it impacting our industry?
So the fever economy is what's happening in the economy right now, where patches of the economy are very hot, like the job market, and patches are very cold, like consumer confidence and the ability to borrow money. And really, it's the discomfort of this economy that you're experiencing simultaneously hot and cold, feels like fever. And that's why this current economic moment is different from previous recessions and feels difficult to us.
Why, so would you like to add something to that? Yes.
I was just going to say, were we inspired by COVID from fever as well to get to that term?
No.
And how long do you think this upcoming recession is going to last?
I don't want to make predictions about how long a recession will last. What we do know is we're going into a very different moment for consumers. There's going to be a brief and hard period where people have to think about money, have to think about prices, and have to think about how they live their best lives and achieve the goals they have when they have less. And that's really going to be the job of brands during this difficult period, is how do you help people who want to do good things do them for less and design the way through that.
And what would be one of the strategies you would suggest for that?
I would really look at how your user experience can boost customer confidence. What's interesting, we've got this big fall in economic confidence right now and a very big fall in customer satisfaction at the same time. And the truth is, most of the things that drive customer satisfaction are all about confidence. How easy was this product to master? Am I doing great things with things I own? Am I putting my money in the right places? And I think really designing to instill confidence and mastery in people is the way that UX people and designers can really have a positive impact during this feverish economic time.
Okay. So in today's world of economic turbulence and rising costs, how do you think marketers and brands can sail through to win customers?
I don't think anyone sails through at this time, but I think as we learned from COVID, it's the brands that rise up to help that do well. Everyone knows the stories about how the brands that continue to invest and continue to build brand in hard times tend to win the next business cycle. But you can also think about how you help your customers do more and achieve as much as they want to, even when they've got less. Think about the new services you can bring out, entry-level versions of products, services that work for you, even if you're in tighter economic circumstances. Really just designed to help people at this point.
Okay. So why do you think that digital brand strategy should align with user experience?
Well, I mean, brands need to be connected with people across the whole journey. We can't look at things in silos anymore. That's how you build relationships with customers over time. You have to start to connect with them, at all different points and follow them through that journey and lead them into a longer term relationship.
So what would be a good way to for companies to get to know whether the user is having a good experience or not?
Well, I mean, is a continued purchase part of that? Are they advocating for your brand in social? Are they sharing about what your brand's doing with others? If there's kind of an ongoing feedback loop with your customers, you're building that relationship and it becomes a reciprocal kind of value.
Okay. Do you think that it is important to push the limits of traditional marketing laws for brands to grow?
Yes. I think it's very important. You can't just focus on, what's happening on this day and this moment. Brands always need to be looking ahead, defining what their brand means beyond, today, where they're going, what business are they really in besides just the product that they're selling today. And we've seen brands that haven't done that go away.
Could you give an example recently of a brand that you've encountered that has managed to do this quite well?
It's interesting. There's so many brands in my mind right now that aren't doing it so well. We see some technology brands that are kind of floundering at that.
So maybe you can talk about that instead if you like.
I think one brand that's navigating the space very well is American Express. They have the phrase they use internally, which is the backing to thrive. Really, it's about helping people live their best lives. And I think they understand that, yes, they're in the card and the payment business, but really they're in the business of helping people live their best lives. When you see them helping people go to concerts, have amazing times at festivals, get money to set up businesses, they really know how to help people live their best life.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And did you want to talk about any of the brands that have not managed to do this so well?
Not really.
What are your thoughts on Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter and how things will change going forward?
Well, we know Tom just said it's his least favorite app now. I mean, I'm worried. I'm scared. I think we're looking at it from a brand perspective, advising brands to hold back there. I believe in freedom of speech, but I also don't believe in, all the bad things that could potentially have an outcome from changes to how the kind of principles that he's putting in place. So, for us, it's just looking at it also through that brand lens. And is this going to be a safe place for brands? Probably not, because if it's not a safe place for people, then it's not going to be a safe place for brands.
Okay. So the last question, unless you want to add.
That's a killer. Sorry, that is the best answer. I'll take it.
You want to answer this question too, or?
So the promise of Twitter, and this is true both of the users and the advertisers, it's like a digital town square. It's the place where everyone gets together, they talk, they exchange, they come back kind of smarter from it. And the danger with Elon Musk's ownership of it is I don't think he really accepts or really understands the value of why you need limitations, codes of conduct, really basic civility on the platform. And I think that's something that he's going to need to understand, because that's really what makes it safe and productive for users.
I mean, I want to add something to that. Let's not forget that at one point in time, town squares had public executions. So there definitely needs to be some rules of engagement. It's not inherently a positive thing.
All right. So the last question for both of you is, what would you be doing in your life if not this right now? In life in general, yeah.
I would be a bad chef or a bad writer.
I would be a crime detective.
Okay.